Welcome to Breakdown, JJ. It is October 20, 2025. SEC Big Ten. Let's break it down.
Let's do it.
JJ, there were some great games over the weekend, but we're going to start off with a team that won a close game over the weekend. And yet and still they fired their coach.
Yeah, there were 9 ranked teams that lost games that week. So let's acknowledge that. But let's start with the winners. Yeah,
okay, let's do the winners.
Yeah, let's go.
Who? Well, before we start, who won the week? SEC or Big Ten?
Won the week, the SEC or the Big Ten? That's a good question.
I'm gonna go with the SEC because they had more interesting games than the Big Ten did.
Yeah, it looks like the SEC is always gonna have a little bit more depth. But if you look at the top of the poll, we'll get to that later. But
okay,
yeah.
Well, let's go with the winners. Let's go with well, in the Big Ten, the obvious winners, the two undefeated team, Ohio State, Indiana.
Number 2 in the country, Indiana, highest ranking,
and number 1 in the country, Ohio State.
Yeah, but one of those things isn't that surprising. One of those things has never happened before, so we just want to give Indiana and Kirk Cignetti the respect that he is due, because he definitely got the money that he is due.
How much money did he got?
Ooh, he got that extension. He has a $100 million buyout. So
$100 million.
Man, that's nice.
Deserve it?
I mean,
does he deserve it?
Well, last year was the first year of the 12-team playoff. Indiana was an inaugural member of the playoff. This year, I mean, they're headed on track. Like they could sustain.
They get a bye.
They could sustain multiple losses and still make it to the playoffs. So, it's looking like they're going to be back-to-back playoff contenders. I think that's about $100 million worth of value if you're Indiana. What do you think?
I would agree.
Even if he doesn't do much after this year, I would say it's worth it. But I think he's too competitive to just kick his feet up and count his money stacks. I think he'll.
Well, JJ, we talking about the winners: Indiana, Ohio State. Not much there to talk about. Indiana took care of business against Michigan State easily. Ohio State took care of business easily. Who did Ohio State play? They played Wisconsin. Wisconsin's falling apart.
Yeah, Wisconsin got shut out again.
But JJ, there is an amazing game in the Big Ten this coming weekend.
This coming weekend, is that the Michigan State game?
That's a good one, but there's one better.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to talk about that, but there's one better.
A better game than that? Wow, you're going to have to enlighten me.
Indiana playing UCLA. And we ain't talking about basketball, JJ.
No, that's a couple of blue buds, but not in the sport that we're talking about.
Indiana's on a roll, JJ. They fired their coach. They've been kicking.
UCLA is, too.
I mean, that's what I meant.
Indiana fired their coach a little longer ago, a season and a half ago, but
UCLA fired their coach, and they're undefeated.
Since then
3-0. 3-0. That's a big game. Two of the hottest teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah, that is. I mean,
so what's your take on that game?
I mean, UCLA, they have a rough path to six wins. Excuse me. They have a rough path to 6 wins, and I don't think this is one that they're gonna get. What is how much of a favorite is Indiana? I think they're like
probably double digits.
Oh, definitely double digits. I think it's like it's gotta be close to 20.
It's a home game for Indiana, and UCLA is traveling.
And he does like to prove points. Kirk Cignetti did. I mean, look what ask Illinois, ask Bielema.
Well, Illinois was one, but Iowa, Oregon, true. Not that much.
True, but Oregon ain't UCLA. Indiana's a 24.5 point favorite. I thought it would be in the 20s, but
I would take that every day of the week and twice on Sundays.
Okay, well, I think Kirk Cignetti might take you up on that one.
Hey, don't underestimate UCLA. Penn State did. Michigan State did. Maryland did. Okay, I'm just saying.
UCLA looks like a good team. They look like a good team.
So, Jay, you don't think there'll be any competition whatsoever in that game? We're talking about Nico now.
Any competition whatsoever? I think it'll be similar to the Michigan State game. I mean, Michigan State lost to UCLA similarly to the way that they lost to Indiana. So you would think that if you use the transitive property that you could put that they're on par. But
Can I go further than that?
yeah,
Michigan State ran identically to UCLA as they did Indiana.
well, that's about
13 to
close.
38, 13 to 38. Back
Yeah.
to back game, back to back losses.
Yeah,
Identical.
that's true. But I don't know. Even with that said, I still think Indiana is substantially better than UCLA, and I think they're going to show why they outclassed them.
Okay. Are you looking forward to that game? You don't think it'll be much of a game?
No, I'm going to look forward to it. I like UCLA. We got this running back, transfer. Told he wasn't good enough. Nico, everybody was laughing at him and putting Joy Aguilar in the Heisman front runner race and talking about how they got the better end of the deal and everything like that. I like a good redemption story. America loves to kick you down and watch you fall from grace, but they also love to build you back up. So
Okay. Man, if UCLA can win, that's a big game. JJ, before we get out of the Big Ten, I want to talk about one other school, one other game, the one that you mentioned first.
okay,
The Michigan State game being played in East Lansing. I think
Yeah.
Michigan is
what time is that game at?
7:30.
Yeah.
Prime time Saturday night game. Is that good or bad?
I think it could be good or bad. I think in college I always loved primetime games because it gave you plenty of time to tailgate beforehand and pregame and really enjoy the festivities and really imbibe a little bit if that was a thing that you were interested in.
And Michigan State has lost 4 in a row, man. Four in a row.
Yeah. They sound like Penn State.
Yeah. Do you see a competitive game in any way, shape, or form?
Competitive game. Michigan State, Michigan. Michigan didn't look great against Washington other than they really confused Washington's quarterback. I mean, I thought Damon Williams was really going to be dynamite entering the season, and he's had his ups and his downs, and that was he threw four picks. I mean, that was a very down day for him. I don't know if Michigan can replicate that. Some of those interceptions, that one guy who was literally on the ground when he threw it to him, I mean, some of those are just luck. You can't replicate that. So I don't think that it will be uncompetitive. I think Nebraska was Nebraska was a competitive game against Michigan on the road. I think Michigan on the road is different than Michigan at home.
Okay.
I do think Andrew Marsh, their wide receiver, is breaking out. I think he's clearly established himself as number one receiver, which they definitely need if they want a hope of doing anything special this year. I think Underwood is developing. I think their offensive line is congealing and playing pretty well.
Is Michigan overachieving right now?
Is Michigan overachieving? I don't know if you can say they're overachieving. They got smacked around by USC just the prior week, and they have lost. They got destroyed by Oklahoma. I think they beat the teams that they're supposed to beat, and I think they've lost to the teams that they've been favored to lose to.
JJ, if Michigan State loses this game, if Jonathan Smith team at Michigan State doesn't put up a fight, are the days numbered for Jonathan Smith as coach at Michigan State?
Man.
How competitive must Michigan State be in this game, or do they even need to be competitive in this game for Smith to keep his job?
It's tough to be asking that question so early. I remember when people were asking that question about Mel Tucker, in his third season. And now people are asking about Jonathan Smith in the middle of his second season. I think you do need to give these guys time. But at the same time, I mean, you have to look at. I'm not sure how much money they're putting into everything. Okay. So without that information, I'm not sure what. It's really hard to evaluate Michigan State. They know exactly how much money they're putting into it, and just by looks on the other defense and how many people exited the program, it looked to me it's similar to Arkansas. It looks like they didn't put any money into the defense whatsoever, and it shows, and you need to in SEC. You need to in the Big Ten. So, I don't know. Jonathan Smith, without support, he's gonna fail.
Agreed. And are the fans giving him support, sufficient support?
You know, the fans might not be giving him support, but I'm more interested in what the donors are doing.
Okay. Okay.
You know, they got 3 billionaire NBA owners that they could got on speed dial. One in Cleveland, one in Phoenix, one in Orlando. They might as well, you know,
Hypothetically, JJ,
fundraise.
what if Michigan State defeats Michigan Saturday?
That would be a humongous feather in Jonathan Smith's cap. For one, it would. I mean, at that point in time, I'm not sure what the rest of the schedule looks like. I'm not sure if bowling is a possibility, but it looks a lot more within reach with the win against Michigan.
Well, that would give them 4 wins, and they would definitely be in the race because Penn State.
Well, yeah,
isn't-
that's the
isn't-
thing.
Yeah,
They're not the Penn State that you think of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So a win would definitely give them the potential to get bowling.
Yeah, I think that would be
how
huge.
How damaging would a loss be for Michigan?
That'd be very damaging for one Sharon Moore. There's guys out there that are champing at the bit, you know, wanting his spot. I think it's pretty obvious, you know, Matt Campbell at Iowa State wants the Michigan job. I think, you know, some SEC jobs opened. He does not want to leave the Midwest. And, you know, Penn State, Pennsylvania isn't technically the Midwest. And some people think Michigan is a better job than Penn State. I'm not sure. I think they're similar levels. But I think Michigan has definitely been shown that they're going to be supported financially to the degrees that Penn State went.
A loss to Michigan State would endanger Sharon Moore.
I don't think so. I mean, I think, you know, he just got off to such a weird start. I mean, they had a great ending to the season, beating Ohio State and Alabama. They finished, what, eight wins? Yeah, I mean, so, like, I don't think you can put that year against him. And then this year, I think is a building year, and you know they have a true freshman quarterback with very little support at the receiving position. You know, offensive line is rebuilding, the defensive line is rebuilding. That's the thing. Like, I don't think the job's gonna open this offseason. I don't think it might. I don't think it's gonna open next offseason. I don't think you know. That's why I think, you know, some guys like Matt Campbell really have to look at that Penn State job and look at it very hard, because when you're at a place like Iowa State, you never know how you're going to do from year to year, how realistic you're going to be for a candidate for a big boy job. I mean, that's a very volatile job. You don't have a hotbed of recruiting talent in your backyard in Ames, Iowa.
We're going to talk about coaching, hot seats, and potentials in a few minutes, but let's move down south.
Okay.
There were a couple of good games last week, and a couple of good games coming up this week. I want to talk about some of the good games coming up this week, and we're going to get out of here pretty soon. But no, let's do last week first. Alabama's played 4 straight top 20 teams. In Georgia, Vandy, Missouri, Tennessee, beat them all. Are they back? I asked you this question last week. Is Alabama back? The meat of their schedule is over. I mean, it's getting to look actually easier from here on in, except for the Oklahoma game. Are they back?
Yeah, it looks like Alabama is cruising as the best team in the SEC.
Wait a minute. There's one undefeated team in the SEC.
Okay.
Texas A&M.
Yep, and Alabama looks like they're cruising as the best team in the SEC.
Okay.
We all saw Alabama's loss to Florida State, a very bad Florida State team.
First game of the season.
Unfortunately for the rest of Alabama's opponents, they won't get that Ty Simpson ever again. You won't be able to confuse him the way that Florida State was, you know, frankly able to do in the first game of the season. So, you know, he looks like the best quarterback in the conference. You know, they look like the best team in the conference. Ryan Williams looks like he might be the 3rd best receiver on his team.
I know.
So,
but how old is he though, JJ? I'm just kidding.
He's an 18-year-old true sophomore.
I'm just messing with you. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, no, he has plenty of time to develop. But they have plenty of talent. Alabama has plenty of talent, and they look like they're being coached very well. And their quarterback is, you know, firing all cylinders.
So let's look at Florida. I mean Georgia. Georgia beat Mississippi 43-35. They only lost one game.
Yeah.
And there was a 21-24 loss to Alabama. Is Georgia better than I thought they were?
Georgia keeps winning. They don't look impressive while they do it, but they do win. So with that in mind, you gotta, I don't know, you gotta give them the credit that they had. You gotta give them the credit that they do. But we will have to get out of here.
Okay.
It's about that time. Do
So
you have any last words?
I just got WPS. Wool Pig Sweet. Auburn, you're going down this week. Bam. That's me.
Who they?
All right.